assets. And yet, Kenya Power should be doing the last mile, the distribution, the buyer market. What this means, Trevor, is that we are able to allow the transmission company to run under what you would call an unbundle. We do full unbundling of the energy sector where there are generators, there is a transmission company, and there is a buyer. We're then able to implement the spirit of the 2019 Energy Act, which requires that we open the market. Yeah. Today we have what we call a single market buyer, which is KPLC buying all the power from the generators because there is not a very delineated or separation on transmission. Once the transmission is done and the regulations are already on my desk for wheeling, you should be able to generate power as an independent party, wheel it to market using Ketraco, which under that unbundled structure, they have a tariff for wheeling to market and sell your power wherever you want to sell the power. Because the responsibility of transmission will have been delineated from Kenya Power, which is not the case today. Okay. The other thing that we are working on seriously to improve the performance of Kenya Power is to reduce the power losses. Kipto did talk to us during the break that in 2022, we had power losses up to 22%, 22.4%. Yeah. We have given Kenya Power a target to bring down the power losses to about 16% within the next 3-4 years. And we have given a structure on how that can be worked on so that the technical losses can come down by about 8%, transmission losses 4%, commercial losses, and so on and so forth. Yeah. And you'll ask, how do we do this? We will strengthen the network by investing in the network to improve the transmission network. We are now working on PPP, allowing private-public partnership. There are a number of transmission circuits which are being built by the private sector because there is a wheeling tariff. They are able to earn either on wheeling or capacity, which is basically availability. Yeah. And then therefore, the transmission can be reinforced by bringing more private capital, the way we do power generation. We are also looking at monetizing some of the transmission. Why do we have to own a line 100% fully amortized, sitting on $600 million investment like the Ethiopia-Kenya line? So we'll be looking at monetization of some of the lines. What are we doing? We're trying to basically improve the balance sheet of Kenya Power, give them a more positive working capital, unlike today when they are almost at negative, and be able to address what industry needs to be able to support what I did mention earlier in 7% GDP to manufacturing going towards 15%.
So are you relating this unreliability to under-resourcing or incompetence?
Let me give a case in point which we did discuss during the break. In Western Kenya today, more importantly, Bomet, Chirchir, Awendo, Homa Bay, almost every other evening there is power blackout, which is occasioned by a constraint in a line which cannot carry enough power. Because if a line is dimensioned, say, to carry 80 megawatts, it is trying to carry 120. Like Engineer Siror did mention, or was it Mwaura, the line will shut itself down to protect itself because it is carrying more than it can easily melt. So what the system does sometimes, not sometimes, all the time, is to protect itself by switching off. And sometimes that switching off is what caused a national blackout. It switched the whole country instead of switching off a region. So what we do from time to time, when there's an overload, because the industry has grown and we have not built a line commensurate to carry more power to support the industry in Awendo, the industry in Homa Bay, the industry in Bomet, to the industries, is we actually pull down some feeders. So it is not unreliability. We are shutting the system before it shuts itself off. So there is need for investment in infrastructure, and we are doing that through PPP. We want to look at monetization to be able to get the transmission network to work around like Power Grid of India, which is possibly the fourth best performing company in India today because of what they have done to be able to support that. So yes, reliability is a challenge. Yeah. So the power that goes to Western Kenya, just to finish that example, comes through Moroni, Chemosit, Kigati, going all the way to Awendo. And that line is so overloaded. We've got a facility from South Korea to build a line from Narok to Bomet because we have already built Olkaria, Narok. So we need to complete Narok, Bomet, and Bomet all the way down Gigati to Awenda has been built. Yeah. So if we complete that link, we are then able to have an alternative and load Chemosit, Moroni, and be able to deliver.
How much is that facility?
The facility is, Narok Bomet alone is costing us about 2.5 billion. Okay. But the facility also will have a component to do Kilifi, Malindi, Kilifi, Weru. Malindi, Weru, Kilifi, which is another challenge area where we have the Club Lake power generation on solar, which is causing problems of intermittence in that region. Yeah. As soon as we finish Mariakani substation, we are also able to deliver more power to Mombasa. We have a similar problem in Mombasa.
Do you have an estimate of how much it will take to bring down the power losses to the 16% that you're saying?
We do.
How much will KPLC?
We do. I may not have the straight number right now because, yes, it might cost us up to $4 billion. Yes, $4 billion. And we have dimensioned that. A lot of it will come from private sector. Okay. We've got Africa 50 doing a line from Lesotho to Lesotho under PPP. We've got some line from Gilgil, Thika, Malaya being done on PPP. And these are real investments which are bound to happen on the ground as we speak today because we're working with PPP. We've almost really reached financial close on those projects. And that way, the transmission Ketraco, which doesn't have its own balance sheet because it operates on government balance sheet, will be able to build its own balance sheet. It will stop picking money every budget in, budget out from the national treasury